Oh, hey, good morning. I want to share something that was on my heart this morning in my walk. I typically walk in the dark or run in the dark, and it just made me think about something that's always been on my mind for a long time now, and that's that I love the dark. You know, uh, it's just something about the dark that's just special and calming um, and just different. But of course, as the Lord does, and I meditate on this, He reveals some things to me, and some of those things are um, just things about the dark. I mean, think about it. Our organs are all in the dark, and the most miraculous things happen through our organs. They're all in the dark. They're all internal, but amazing things. Our life, our existence, our bodies is all controlled by those organs that are in the dark, which is amazing. A seed, you plant every vegetation around here, even from the garden. I mean, when God created the garden and brought seed plants forward, what did He do? He said He puts a seed in the earth, and every tree shall provide seeds according to its own type. But those seeds, where is it? Under the ground, in the dark. And that's where the growth happens, under the darkness of the soil. Um, look at the stars. Look at up in the sky. I mean, they're up in there, and in the pitch black dark, as far away as you can probably imagine. And God just hangs them as lights, but He put them in the darkness so we could look up and see them, and view them as far away as they are, and as pitch black as they are in the sky. There they are. Um, and then, like, other silly things, like, I'd wear a lot of dark clothes, because dark clothes make us look thinner. um, or it's terrible, but, like, Dee always makes fun of me because when I eat, where's the clothes? Sometimes food goes on my shirt. Well, if my shirt's dark, sometimes you can't see that, so that helps hide that food. And Or a dark car. You can drive a dark car longer, and it can get dirty longer because you can't see the dirt as bad as other things. And then just when I run in the dark, I mean, I just love the early morning runs in the darkness. It just strums that part of our soul, our existence. That's you just know that. And here's the big part: is that God is in you, and there's a light in you, and that even though in this darkness, there's light. There's a confidence. Darkness exudes fear, or can exude fear. And when I first started running in the dark many years ago in Oklahoma, and as I used to travel, man, I'd come out the hotel like 2, 3 o'clock, some 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and it's pitch black, and there's always that hesitation or that trepidation of, okay, well, that's dark back there, what's going on? But sure enough, I just run, and every time wherever I traveled, and I did the same thing and got out in the dark, whether it's Arizona or Ohio or California, wherever I ran and left the hotel at pitch black in the morning, sometimes there's always that original fear. Well, look, I don't know this area around me. I'm dark. I may be in the wrong area. Hint, hint. Poke, poke. But you know what? Through it all, man, here I am. Nothing ever happened to me. It was my internal fear and my internal concerns that kept me back. And what is the opposite of faith but fear? And darkness and blackness can sometimes make us afraid. But it's a good exercise. Try it out sometime. I mean, with caution, of course. Don't go do something and say, well, Reggie said I should go in the dark and get run over, or scooped up by a jaguar or something like that. We have to know our surroundings, right? In most places I drive during the day before, and I knew the lay of the land. I asked questions, you know. But try it sometimes. Just go out there and just stand out there in the pitch black and just look out, and check your soul, and know that, like, you'll feel it. But God gives us confidence, even in that silly exercise. It may seem, God gives us constant confidence. And here's the other side of all those things. So yes, the seed is under the ground and is in the darkness. But what happens? That seed grows and it grows towards the light, and eventually the plants come up and they come up out of darkness into light. Another one was the darkest soul. I mean, think about the greatest glory, the greatest victory. Paul, who persecuted Christians, who thought he was doing the work of God, as he was persecuting Christians for the church, could have been seen as the darkest soul. What did God do? Took his vision, made him see nothing, and he was in complete darkness. And then Silas came and removed the scales from his eyes, and he could see. And what happened? He became the biggest herald, the biggest prophet, the biggest person forward to the Word of God, and bring souls to Christ. Look through most of the Bible. A lot of the Bible is written by Paul. And there it is, from the darkness of his behavior, killing Christians, from the darkness of his eyes being closed and then sight being restored, to God's glory being revealed, and the brightest lights and the most souls coming to Christ because of still his word that we read continuously today. I made the joke about the shirt. Well, yeah, okay, fine. So I like dark clothes. It makes me look thinner, and I can get some food on it. But what happens if I continue to do that? That ain't gonna work. That food gonna eventually be smelled, or I gotta wash the shirt. That's just horrible. And that's just nasty, really. So I don't do that all the time, just to clarify. I say every once in a while, a couple crumbs. Or, okay, I like dark clothes, but you know what? If I wear them dark clothes, not at nighttime in the dark like this, you see behind me as I normally run, but if I wear them dark clothes in the middle of the sun, in the middle of 90-degree weather, 100-degree weather in Arizona, I'm going to be passing out. So I got to take the clothes off and let the sun in and feel good and feel revived and refreshed, and let that, again, the air come in, and I got to get out of the darkness. And then the ultimate one to me is what happened at the very beginning. At the very beginning, there was darkness. There was nothing. Before God said, "Let there be light," there was darkness, complete darkness. Imagine that. The creator of existence as we know it was sitting in complete darkness. The firmament was darkness. The oceans, it was all dark. It was all water, completely dark. And then he said, "Let there be light." And boom, there it was. And there's how existence started. And how amazing is that that's the first thing he did. And it wasn't light. Again, the sun wasn't created until the next day. He said, "Let there be light." It was him. And who was there? He says, the light of the world is Christ. Christ, that was a light. It was God. He was a light. Light came from him. And what beauty is that light comes from God and comes from that type of existence. And then here's another thing, just food for thought, things coming inside my crazy head 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm running sometimes, is what's going on our planet, the ocean. They all appear into space, trying to look up in space, and they don't even know what's down in the deep. They can't even get to the deepest depths of the ocean. Where did God go when he secured our salvation? He went down to the depths, to the Leviathan, to the deepness, and took the keys of death, hell, and the grave for our salvation. So that says something. Even on this planet, which God holds the oceans in the cleft of his hand, the little middle part of his hand, God holds the oceans in the cleft of his hand. That's how big our God is. But we can't even get to the bottom of the ocean, which is probably horribly dark, if we think about it. And some good videos on the depths of the ocean, which are very interesting. So all this said to say is, just again, food for thought, running thought, whatever, however you want to put it, rants of a restless mind. But just things that have always been on my mind and my heart, and I want to share with you and encourage you. And so that's it. Just meditate on that if it be for you, and just think about how great our God is. That in darkness, the light shines. I loved running into the sunrise. It's such a surreal thing. I love running in the dark and looking up at the skies and seeing the stars. And even we talk here, you notice that the sun is starting to rise. From when I started this video. So again, I hope this encourages you. I hope this blesses you. Please forgive my disheveled hair. It's pretty horrible right now. But may God bless you and keep you. And keep running, keep searching, keep digging into the Word every day. Starting every day with the Lord's Prayer. It's as simple as that. God bless you. I love you, and hope you enjoy this video. It's one of my first ones, I think. So, all right. Talk to you soon. Bye.